Hey guys, what's up? Killer here. Welcome back to another game on the Gwenology account. This time we're up against Nasus. Runes should be on screen now, and yes, you heard that right. Nasus Mid versus Gwen Mid. We got off-rolled, and surprisingly, Nasus has become a mid pick in pro play, and we're seeing it here. Truth be told, I think this pick is awful. Not Nasus, but this whole concept of quote unquote poke Nasus, and the idea is use your E for last hitting early, putting like 3 points into it. And this is just like a very odd thing to me because Nasus's threat into Gwen is at level 6. And the threat was that Nasus Q was able to heal an entire Gwen Q off of a minion. So if Gwen landed a Q on Nasus, Nasus gets a stack. He heals with his built-in lifesteal. He heals off fleet, and he just kind of recycles that process until he has a lot of stacks, and then he presses R when you try to engage on him, presses Wither under your feet, presses Wither on you, throws E under your feet for percent armor pen, and then you're just dead. But this whole concept of poke just makes it so Nasus players are just not using E's when they should into Gwen, and it's making the lane a lot easier for me. I've played this lane like 3 times since I saw it in professional play, and Nasus players are just like kind of brainwashed, just like I talked about in my tier list of proxy Singed players, where the champion has tools to beat Gwen, but they're just not utilizing the tools because they're fixed on playing this one exact playstyle. But with that rant aside, the runes this game, we ended up trying out Cut Down. It did get nerfed. I just wanted to test it against something a little more bulky, and Cut Down definitely is not the rune that you run every laning phase anymore. It had merit, or it has merit still into squishier things you want to burst down, especially if these Shadow Flame buffs come through. I'll throw them up on screen now if I can find them. But those were leaked, and it could change, but just looking at it from a first impressions, it just looks very, very good for Gwen. But anyways, Last Stand, definitely you're gonna play that a lot more compared to last patch when it was just cut down every game on every champ. But this whole laning phase has just been Nasus throwing down E. We get poked down a bit, but he never wants to do a full committed fight, so we're just kind of getting him back for free. Gonna go for a auto ignite auto, but the Wither, being hilarious, just cancels our last auto. And then here you're gonna see Balsin's Law. Those that watch the boss FFS know what's about to happen. So I need to get this wave into the tower. Nasus has TP, but I still want the wave into the tower. We're gonna press our W here, and we're gonna take a gray screen. I feel like if I tapped my W sooner, I could have moved the W away from Nasus casting Wither, and I could have walked out, potentially. Still think I'm guaranteed dead there, but there might have been a way I live. Which, it's fine that I die there. As the boss FFS says, good death, blasting wand refill pot in my inventory into double glowing mote to Nasus. One of us is feeling a lot better about their position. That being said though, because I did give a kill, I need to make sure that he stays in this lane, so that's why I'm going to pull the wave so that he cannot take a reset and spend that gold, because now if he were to take a reset, he would lose an entire cannon wave, which would just be absolute murder in the mid lane. Alright, but the wave's just gonna come into me. I'm gonna get my level 6. He's gonna wither me so I can not last hit efficiently over Gwen. So it does not matter. I said this in my tier list video, or my matchup list, but thank you guys so much for the recent support recently. I've been grinding out videos, whether it be shorts, these Gwenology videos, or my editor working on stream highlight games. And it's definitely paying off. I really appreciate all the love and support from my Twitch chat who say that they come from my videos, and then just the comment sections on YouTube. It means a lot, and I'm glad that you guys can learn from these types of videos, because that's what I love doing. I love teaching people about this game. I love talking about this game for hours. That's why I made that entire tier list. Like, I just love this game, and even though solo queue can be really, really terrible, like, if you ask me at the end of a stream, like, hey, what's your favorite game? It's always going to be League of Legends. There's not a game that comes close to this. Alright, but here I'm going to try to push in the cannon wave. I thought Nasus might roam bot there, so if he were to have shown bot, I could have gotten that into the tower and gotten a nice little plate for free. Unfortunately, he did not do the rotation. But here I see Brand walking down into the river. That makes me think, oh, he's going to go contest Warwick on Scuttle. For some reason, Warwick backs off. Brand's allowed to get his level 6 off the Scuttle last hit. We're going to find the Brand. I'm on a pixel. Nasus is going to try to run me down. And we're just going to run as quick as we can. I Mia-ping Warwick because I was just so confused that, like, he was just willing to concede the Scuttle when I swear that he was guaranteed it. He thankfully withers the Warwick. I'm running for my life. I press W, so Nasus E just barely doesn't get on top of me. I think I was just barely out of range as well, but better safe than sorry. And we are going to escape. I'm going to get Merc Treads here because they have double value. When you have an AP jungler that has a lot of CC and then a mid laner that has a very, very strong CC, being Nasus Wither, this just has so much value, as well as Nasus E doing magic damage, so it just has so much value. Tier 2 boots feel very, very bad to rush now, but they just have so much value in this specific situation that we just had to pick them up. Alright, but here we're just going to go back to last hitting. And then for those that don't know, in about a week from now, I will be in a tournament ran by Kleptomancy. They are a small Discord and Twitch stream that are trying to make something comparable to the LBLCS, which is just grassroots League of Legends tournaments ran by a couple hundred people. Or sorry, not ran by, but that have a couple hundred like entrants and or so. But I've been screaming for that, and the unfortunate thing about being an OTP and playing in a comms situation is they're going to do their research and they're going to find out that, oh, this one guy plays Gwen, and ban out my Gwen every single game. So I have a lot of recordings of scrims, and I was wondering if you guys might be interested in me making like something like the Aurora movie, where it's just like a scrim series. Because I have some really, really good Aatrox games that I would love to show, but I know that they're not going to do great on the algorithm because it's not Gwen and it's not a laid back vid like this. I've heard that people watch me because they find my voice relaxing and that I'm chill, which thank you guys. But with scrims, it's a lot more intense and screaming, as well as it being a different champion. So I'm willing to post it and just eat the video, like, have the video like tank and view counts and like watch time. I'm willing to do that just for one big video. I'm just wondering if you guys would be interested in something like that. But here we're just going to go back to trading. Nasus is going to look for an all-in finally, and then he's going to immediately pivot back once I press my R. And we're just going to try to last hit in between each other, poking each other. Like, this lane is so uninteractive. Typically, we would be getting destroyed in top lane, though, just because the lane is so long. Nasus E provides so much armor penetration that one Nasus Q is just going to deal like a third of our health bar once he acquires the Sheen, which he does right now. But yeah, just this whole like poke playstyle just, I feel like, is altered the way that this lane is played. Or at least this patch. Once Nasus gets his E nerf, hopefully people swap back. Or I guess hopefully they don't, because this lane just feels so much easier compared to a normal Nasus player. I'm running out of things to talk about. I played this game and I was like, man, how am I gonna talk through this game? And I went on a walk just trying to think of stuff that I could talk about that doesn't involve the actual game, because this is all it is. It's just ping pong with this Nasus player that does not want to take a full-on fight. Which he more often than not will win, given the current items and stats that we both have, because he's a level up right now. Now we're even, but he definitely has an XP lead. I see a fight breaking out bot that makes me think, ooh, maybe I should go for a roam play, but then I realize to myself, if I show bot, that shows Nasus, and then that means he gets to take plates for free. And I just don't want him to accelerate himself, because right now he should be utilizing his advantage to just push this in, cue the tower, and then run away like this with phase rush, but he just doesn't want to do that. So I'm just going to poke him for free because he just refuses to use his Q on multiple minions and just not on me. I'm going to cancel his reset there with my ulti. Just be a cheeky guy. Use my ult on the wave to push it in as fast as possible and force out the Nasus TP. And if he weren't to TP, I would just get 2 plates. So he is 100% forced to do that. That then gives me a roam timer. I see Fiora take a very poor trade there, and then she gets chomped, and this just becomes a guaranteed kill. She was half HP, and I'm thinking, ooh, maybe I should go for this play, but the second she got chomped, that's just a guaranteed kill. And there we go. Warwick should have gone and covered this, but instead he's going to take the blue. You can't force your teammates to do stuff. All you can do is utilize your pings better, and I should have pinged that sooner. I should have back pinged the Warwick while he was in river and then pinged defend on the tower while I was doing the dive, but I was just slow on that. And unfortunately Nasus does get 3 plates. I'm a little tilted about that, but that is on me. Warwick misunderstands my pings, and that just tilts me a little bit more in the situation, but looking back, it's like, yeah, I do get it. If I'm Warwick in that situation, like, I'm not really paying that much attention to mid at that situation when I see a blue buff and potentially more on Brand's blue side. I end up trying to warn my team about the Nasus roam, and the second I see Nasus, that tells me, okay, insta push this wave. In my mind, Nasus is probably thinking, oh, hey, tower plates just fell. We have 3 grubs. The enemy team only has 3. There's no way Gwen gets this right. And then I could just also imagine Nasus panning his camera to the mid lane as I just immediately one-shot the tower. I use my W there just to make sure Nasus cannot wither me and then run me down. And then we're going to pick up the red buff here. I found out a really neat trick about the red buff. Red and blue buff. I truly didn't know until like probably 3 weeks ago what made them despawn, and it's literally as simple as 1 minute after the buff is taken, they'll despawn. So what you can do is you can hold tab, and all you have to do is go to the buff before 4 minutes, because buffs respawn every 5 minutes. 5 minus 4 is 1, so the 1 minute. But I truly didn't know that for the entire season, that this has been a thing. So it's a nice little trick you guys can use to tell whether a buff is going to fizzle out or not. Like I said earlier, Shadowflame is getting a nice buff. Let me actually try to find it real quick, because it's not like anything interesting is going to happen here. Spider X. But yeah, let me just look back. Again, just more ping pong. I W there, just to make sure I have some extra armor for this Nasus Q I'm about to take. I also make sure to not be standing in the Nasus E because that would actually delete my health bar. If he were to Q me then. Ooh, did they pull it? It'd be really sad because it looked really exciting. Oh, there it is, but we'll get to that in a second. Small amount of trading here. Nasus is finally going to put the E under my feet and just chunk me. I'm going to use my ult on the Brand to heal a bit. Dodge left, dodge right. I don't know where that Brand Q is going, but we are going to pick up the Nasus. Galio's going to ult in. I'm just going to play like carrot on a stick. I'm going to just walk forward and try to bait this Galio to maybe reeling back into me. Zilean speeds me up. I try to bait him even more because Zilean does have ult. We get the exhaust, and then I see Ezreal, and that is my cue to leave. We got an extra summoner spell out of me just running around with my head cut off. But yeah, the Shadow Flame changes. Health threshold increased from 35% to 40%. So instead of activating at 350 health on a champion with 1000 HP, it activates at 400, which is awesome considering Cut Down was nerfed. Imagine if Cut Down wasn't nerfed and then you ran it with this. Like, this would be a super OP combo. You also gain 3 more Magic Pen at the cost of 5 AP. I think that's really good for Gwen. And then there's also a dot damage effect, but I mean, that doesn't involve Gwen at all, so it does not matter for me. Unfortunately, that ult is going to hit me, so I'm going to take a little bit more damage than I should have. Just look at that Q. And the thing is it should just be dealing so much more, but this Nasus I don't think is stacked whatsoever. So imagine if he was just willing to commit a little bit of his HP bar in the lane and run Fleet Footwork instead of Phase Rush, which the Phase Rush I think has only helped him 1 time this entire game, if I could remember correctly. Just like Fleet plus his lifesteal is just so much inherent sustain that I feel like Nasus players are just shooting themselves in the foot with this whole Phase Rush idea. I've also seen people running Arcane Comet and even Summon Airy, so I don't even know which blue rune is optimal for this thing. I look at the lane states and I just realized that I'm just not on a good reset. I wanted to go bot and start threatening the tier 2, but I just want my Shadow Flame before I go down there. I end up finding Fiora up here, and she also got a Battle Queen skin, which looks amazing. I W there thinking she's going to go for the full commitment fight with her ulti, but does not. I start panning down towards the mid lane, and then I just realize again, if I show mid, then that's just going to tell Fiora, hey, Gwen left, now the tower's mine. Thankfully, I did not keep walking down that river because we just saw Nasus come from where I was just about to be. So I kind of saved myself there because I'm not scared of him, I'm scared of his wither. If he withers me and then Brand pulls up, I'm gone. But again, I just want my Shadow Flame. I want it so bad in this situation. I see Fiora Q accidentally hit a minion, and I'm going to just do the Fiora trick that I talked about in my matchup tier list, where I hug a wall and just make it much harder for Fiora to land all 4 vital procs. It just makes the 1v1 just so much easier. Because if she does get all 4 vital procs, it's just next to impossible to beat her in that isolated 1v1. So it truly revolves around her her movement around you. So if you can isolate her or sorry, not isolate her. If you can isolate one of the vitals and make it inaccessible to her, you are going to be much better off in that fight. I end up undeafening there. I think it was like the Volley Bear complaining about Warwick earlier, and when I make these videos, I don't really interact with the in-game chat. When I'm on stream, I do it for banter and stuff because it makes funny content and makes funny clips. But for these, I just try to full focus on the game. We're going to end up picking up the Nasus there with the Zillion's assistance. Zillion's going to keep chasing in the jungle. I just want more gold. Honestly, looking back, I should have used this mid wave to open up the base. I shouldn't have taken the inhib, but I definitely should have taken the tower. You don't want to take inhibs unless you can guarantee that you're going to end the game soon, because once you do take an inhib, it makes it so that entire lane is inaccessible to you anymore. And what I mean by that is that your super minion is going to constantly beat the enemy minion wave down. So you're never going to have time to go and farm that wave because the super minion is just getting rid of it for you. So unless you can do something with that tempo that the super minion wave provides, it's not worth taking. And it's just it was 21 minutes in the game, so it's not worth sacrificing an entire lane of XP and gold for. Here I'm just walking around aimlessly again. I wanted to make sure I had enough for a large rod. Thankfully, Galio was willing to donate a ward to me, which gives me the perfect amount. But then I see dragons spawning soon, and I want to be sure that this Jhin is as safe as can be. This Jhin is decently strong, so I just want to protect him. I see Brand. Going to end up finding him out in isolation. Galio is going to be forced to ult. We're just going to move our W and then throw our needles to get away. I try waiting for my Zillion here and helping him escape, but Nasus is going to hit him midair. Alright, and then we're just going to pick up the bot wave real fast. I was thinking about Magi's this game, but I was like, no, I am not really feeling like the main character this game. My Volibear is 3-1-1, my Jhin is 6-2-3. I'm just kind of a point guard for this Fiora's split push, and since Volibear's up there, I'm just gonna go run to a different lane. One of my teammates Mia pings the Baron, and there's just too many enemies on the map, so that just tells us that there's no way that they're two-manning it. Like, it's not mathematically possible for those two champions to clear it, because Fiora, Galio, and Ezreal showed. That would mean it's Brand Nasus, and I just really think they can't do that. I think Nasus could tank it, but it would literally take them like 60 seconds or something like that. Something insane. Nasus ends up showing bot, so that gives us the perfect time to just go and grab this Baron for free. That was a very good call by our Warwick, I believe it was. Zillion's going to come up top, he's going to just speed boost me to the ends of the earth, and we are just going to find this Fiora for basically free. Not before missing almost every single needle in my kit. Some things never change. But off that, enemy team is gonna surrender. Hope you guys enjoyed. Not too much happened this game. I just needed something in the background to talk about the potential scrim posts. And again, thank you guys so much for the recent support recently. Hope you all have a good day, night, whatever. If you ended up enjoying, like, sub, comment something about a bell. Have a wonderful day.